What's going on, guys? My name's Will. Um, I just wanted to start doing maybe a couple videos. I'm not a big talking guy, expressing my feelings, doing all that type of happy horse shit. But I have to find some type of outlet to release a bunch of repressed feelings that I've had going through my life. Um, you know, I'm a drug addict in recovery. I've been getting high on and off since I was 16 years old. First started smoking, smoking pot, drinking, all that normal stuff. Then I got to the point of sniffing some pills, um, which ended up to me hanging out with the wrong people. The first time I ever did dope, I was on my way to the package store, and this guy that was bringing me up there, he needed a couple dollars. He needed like $5 for something to go buy some nips or whatever, and he convinced me to buy a bag of dope. Now, the reason that's such a big deal to me, well, obviously you know why it's a big deal, but me growing up, my mother was a drug addict. When I was 5 years old, I ended up going to live with my grandmother because there was a bunch of crazy shit that was going on. I might get into that in a later video, see how this one plans out first. But, I grew up and I always said, because of everything that went on in my life, that I would never do dope. I would never do hard drugs like that, seeing what my mother went through. So, coming to this point in time in my life, I had sniffed some, like I said, I had sniffed some perks, some oxys. Um, then the dude, like I said, he needed, $5 for some nips or whatever it was. So he convinced me to buy a bag of dope off him, a bag of heroin. I was reluctant at first, and he was like, "Oh, come on, it's just like just like doing an oxy, blah, blah, blah." So, I sat there and I was like, "Ah, fucking, let me get it." I gave him the $5. I took the bag of dope. I ended up going back to the house that I was partying at. Um, I didn't know how much to do. It was just a little regular $5 bag, probably a $3 bag back then, but anyways, I did like a match head of it, and I got so fucking high, so fucked up. That bag lasted me like 3 days. Sitting there nodding off in the back of a fucking pickup truck in the middle of the night. Woke up, there's fucking raccoons and fucking skunks all over the yard and shit. It was fucking crazy, but yeah, that kind of started my whole run with heroin. And after that, I didn't. Every once in a while, I started every time I seen them. I ended up like getting a bag of dope off him, and then he lived like a few houses down the street from me. So he was like, he would come up to my house, and now he kind of knew he had his fucking hooks inside of me. And yeah, so he would come down to the house. I think one time, this is when he just got a white Jetta. Wasn't registered, wasn't insured in any of that. It came down like, oh, I need to get out to Hartford, blah blah. My grandmother had two cars in the yard, so he's like, oh, let's take a, let's grab one of the front plates off of one of your grandmother's cars, so we can go out there. I'll go grab you some bags. We can go get high. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. So I go and I grab a license plate off to the front of my grandmother's car. Went and put it on his Jetta. We end up going out there. We end up fucking running out of gas right in the middle of the highway. So we end up running off the off ramp. I forgot who it was. We found somebody ran into us. It was in I think it was in East Hartford, and we ended up getting a gas can from him, and he brought us back to the highway. Long story short, we ended up getting the gas, ended up getting out there, and so when we went and grabbed the bags, he went and he stopped and he went to go grab a new needle. Now at this point, I had only sniffed. So he's like, "Yo, you want to fucking try shooting it?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm straight with that, bro. I'm not putting a fucking needle in my arm." So he ends up buying me a fresh needle, anyways. So he ends up fucking. We end up going to Walmart because he goes to write a bad check to so we can get some more bags before we went home. And he ended up I ended up he ended up convincing me to fucking to use the needle, so he did it for me. And at first I'm like, this ain't a fucking big deal. I don't know if he missed the shot or what it was, but it didn't hit me like it was supposed to. So I was like, this isn't a big deal. So we ended up going back to his house and we are sitting there chilling. Then he hit me again, and that one that he hit me with is the one that I felt the rush that's when I was like, oh my fucking god. That was the ride that got me. So, you know, ever since then it would just started going right the fuck downhill, dude. I'm sure like a lot of that might be watching this or know somebody that has been that went right down the fucking shitter. This is my first run ever, so it didn't really go all the way down right away. It progressively went down until I got hooked with this other dude. He he I forgot his name, but he ended up introducing me to shooting cocaine. And that's what I had the issue with. The first time he got me to shoot cocaine, go out to Hartford, ended up pawning fucking two of my grandma's cameras and fucking ended up getting some money, got some dime bags of fucking cocaine, ended up shooting it for the first time, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna split this bag with you. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit it with you. We're gonna get out of the fucking van. Don't freak out. We're just gonna walk." And let me tell you, that was the fucking ride of my life. That was the most intense, crazy feeling that I've ever felt in my life. And that's what I fell in love with. The dope and the opiates took a second hand to that. But what it came down to, because I eventually started just spending money on, I didn't have a complete opiate habit yet. I wasn't getting sick yet. So all my money was going towards cocaine. And my grandmother at the time, she was in remission from cancer. And she had cartridges. She had an IV hookup to her at all time. It was this box that had the IV going into her, and it dispensed the morphine to her. So she had cartridges of it, 5, 6 at a time. So I ended up taking some of that every once in a while. So with doing the cocaine, the dude was telling me, "Yo, instead of fucking fiending, you know, and chasing the high after you're done doing what you're doing, you just you do some morphine, you'll come down, you won't fiend anymore." So I'm like, all right. So I did it. I came down, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking great. So a few weeks go by, everything is good. I got some money, I'm selling a little bit of morphine, I'm fucking getting high every day. So all of a sudden I'm sitting there in the morning one day and I'm just chilling, watching TV. I start to not feel good. I'm not really even thinking about it. So I go and I eat some fucking cereal and I'm like, damn, I really feel like shit. So I'm like, am I dope sick? So I'm like, I call my buddy. I'm like, yo, what's it feel like to be dope sick? And he fucking laughs at me. What the fuck you laughing at? Shit ain't funny. What's it feel like to be? He's like, oh, you'll know if you're fucking dope sick. I'm like, well, I've never been. He's like, trust me, you'll know. So I'm like, all right. So I hang up the phone and I sit there for. I'm starting like, damn, I'm starting to sweat and shit. So I go and I grab a fucking shot of morphine and I go and take instantly fucking feel better. I look in the mirror and I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. So I'm like, I didn't know what to do at this point, so I'm like, fuck it, everything's going good. I'm just gonna continue to fucking keep getting high. Keep fucking just going on this run. Little behold, I end up fucking going on this big run. I end up fucking stealing a bunch of money from my grandmother. I fucking end up stealing a bunch of morphine, which ended up fucking, you know, getting her sick because I ended up not leaving anything for her, and I fucking, this is the first time that I'm ever actually really talking about it, and I fucking hate myself for it because I'm sitting there and I know she's dope sick and she doesn't know why, and I'm like, I wanted to fucking kill myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is a woman that took me in, a woman that fucking saved me from everything that was going on at my fucking, with my mother, from fucking horrible fucking things. Um, and I'm putting her fucking through this shit. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? But the being that part of an addict, it's like when you're sick, you're not thinking about that. The only thing you're thinking of is fucking going and fucking getting your fucking next hit, dude, so that you're not sick. And I've always felt bad for it, and I fucking, I've stole from my friends, and you know, um, I've done all that. I ruined a lot of good fucking friendships, and I ended up making, uh, friends with the wrong fucking people that I thought were my fucking boys. But you know what? It was just a bunch of fucking assholes getting high. People that are fucking trying to steal from me. People that know I'm a crazy fucking asshole and use me as fucking someone to go and rob this person, rob that person, benefit of everything that I'm doing, but then when it comes down to fucking, getting caught or fucking, people finding out about it, the people that are benefiting off of what the fuck I'm doing are pointing the fingers at me as well. Like, yeah, you fucking asshole, you piece of shit. Like, you wasn't there fucking sitting there getting high with me, you stupid motherfucker. But you know what? That was my whole fucking life, dude. Any person that I've ever thought my friend has turned their fucking back on me. And like I said, it's like I've done a bunch of fucked up shit towards people that I care about, people that were my friends. But then those people also benefited, a lot of those horrible things that I was doing. They benefited off of it. Free drugs, free booze, free money. Anything they want, because I thought they were my boys. I'm like, fuck it, we gonna eat together. We gonna get high together. Fuck it. But then everybody, like I said, turns their back on me, does nothing but talk shit about me. Then to my face, though, because they know that I'm gonna get them high. Like, fuck it, they're gonna come and chill with Will, right? Yeah, come on, let's go see Will. Oh, we ain't got no money, but yo, there's this fucking dude that I know that has a bunch of fucking dope and fucking cocaine and crack and shit. We'll just call Will. He'll go fucking rob him. And I would, like a fucking retard. So now I got this big fucking persona around fucking the town that I grew up in, and even to this day, fucking everybody hates me. For shit that I did back then. But, not just for shit that I did back then, because, like I said, I've been on and off since I was 16 years old. I'm 34 now, and I've had clean time. I was doing good. I fucked it up. So, it's not just back then that they still hate me for, but, it is what it is. I'll get into a lot of the other shit, in another video. Like I said, I want to see how this goes. I'll post it up. Like I said, there was a lot of fucking crazy shit that went on, when I was living with my mother before I went to my grandmother's house, before she saved me. And going from there, bouncing back and forth, my mom coming in and out of my life, the boyfriends that she had, It was all fucking crazy. It was just bugged the fuck out. Um, and I've tried to never use any of that as an excuse to do, for doing the shit that I'd done. Well, I've been through this and I've been through that and blah, 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 blah. No, I just bottle all that up, and I just make it so that I just repress it. I don't want to think about it. I just want to get to the next day, get past whatever it was, and move on to the next day and forget everything that ever happened. So, and that's what I did my entire life. But then, like I said, it would come to the point where I started drinking, I started getting high, and even though I never came out and used any of that for why I was getting high, but that was the reason why I was getting high. Not to put blame on that, but because I didn't know how to express myself, and I was self-medicating. When I was getting drunk, everything else that happened, it went away. It came back tenfold the next day when I was fucking sober, because now I felt like everything else that happened to me, now I felt like shit on top of it because I'm hungover or I'm dope sick or whatever the fuck it is. So now I have to go back out and forget about everything that happened way back in the past and everything that just happened yesterday, and I have to do it all over again. It's just a revolving fucking door. Now, know, right now I'm in a halfway house for I was clean for fucking 3.5 years, and I fucked up. I was doing good. I wasn't getting high. I was going to my programs. I was working. I was doing everything that I needed to do. COVID hit, and then we started doing the um the at home video shit for the program, and we're doing the groups like that, and that shit just wasn't the same. When I go to groups, I take the groups over. The counselors that run the group love it because I just take over. I just start talking. People that know me know that I don't shut the fuck up. But I also can relate to a lot of the people that are in these groups. And I've been doing this for so long myself, and I've seen it since I was a baby. So I have a lot of experience with this shit. So the shit that I can say and the knowledge that I have, a lot of people want to know what I have to say, or an answer that I may have for them for a situation that they're going through, because a lot of the shit that I say, relates to a lot of shit that they've gone through. So, but anyways, that's another time for another day. So I was like, fuck it. I got off, I was on the Suboxone for a little while. I got off of that, weaned myself off of that. I was on, a bunch of meds. I stopped going to the groups, so then I didn't have the doctor to go with my meds anymore. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm straight. I've been good for this long, this, that, and the other. And, it just it went downhill. It just turned into a complete fuck sick